43-year-old Clemente Flores Hernandez is accused of fatally shooting his long-time living girlfriend and abducting her grandson last week. At around 8:15 p.m. on Friday, the 24th of February, authorities received a report that her mother had been shot at her home in the 4700 block of Durham Court in Denver, Colorado. Police said the victim's son told authorities that Clemente shot his mother and abducted his son. He reportedly followed Clemente in his vehicle, and Adams County Sheriff's deputies were able to stop Clemente on eastbound Interstate 70 near mile marker 312 using stop sticks. Clemente exited the vehicle with his late girlfriend's grandson in his arms before he was taken into custody. While deputies detained Clemente, police responded to the home on Durham Court and found the victim suffering from a gunshot wound to the head, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. During an interview, the victim's son told police that he and his son were in the basement of the home when his mother told them to come upstairs for dinner. The son reportedly stayed in the basement as the victim's grandson went upstairs. According to police, the son heard gunshots, and when he went upstairs, he found Clemente approaching him with a gun pointed at him. The two struggled over the gun, and Clemente allegedly assaulted his girlfriend's son and pushed him against the wall. The son told police he was unable to breathe, was dizzy, and felt like he was going to lose consciousness. Eventually, the son was able to escape, and he followed Clemente and the victim's grandson in his vehicle before he was stopped by deputies. Police said that the victim's son and grandson did not suffer any serious bodily injury. Clemente faces charges of first-degree murder, first-degree attempted murder, and first-degree kidnapping. The parents of a 4-month-old baby in Michigan are behind bars for allegedly leaving him in the backseat of a car in freezing conditions. The arrest stems from an incident in Grand Haven on the 29th of January. It's alleged that the couple, 32-year-old Philip Nass and 30-year-old Crystal Canals, were in a car that had pulled over on the side of a street and then passed out in the front seat. The car was off, and the baby was in the back seat unsecured in an infant carrier without winter clothing, socks or a blanket. A passerby noticed the car and the occupants and called 911. By the time first responders arrived, the baby's condition had deteriorated. His feet were blue, and his skin was cold to touch. Medics rushed the baby to the Trinity Health Grand Haven for treatment, and he has since recovered. Authorities said that it suspected that drug use contributed to this incident. On the evening of the 22nd of February, detectives secured warrants for the parents' arrest. Officers spotted the couple driving along Beechtree Street that night and were arrested. They each charged with felony abuse of a child, and Philip was additionally charged with 1 count of habitual offender. They're both held at the Ottawa County Jail on a $50,000 bond. Authorities said that if the person hadn't called 911, the baby very likely would have died if he remained in the car. Philip has a criminal history, including past convictions for domestic violence, identity theft, home invasion, resisting assaulting, obstructing a police officer, and controlled substance delivery. 30-year-old Alexander Paul Wardell has been arrested for allegedly killing his girlfriend and a dog. At 4:42 p.m. on the 18th of February, Fire Department Services responded to a blaze at Cube Smart Self-Storage at 4640 South 900 East in Murray, Utah. After extinguishing the fire, officials located a deceased woman and a dog inside the storage unit where the fire broke out. Authorities identified the woman as 27-year-old Morgan K. Harris and a pet dog Huck. Alexander was identified as a suspect, and he was taken into custody. While questioned by detectives, Alexander allegedly admitted to locking Morgan and Huck in the storage unit before walking away. After he left the area, the storage unit caught fire, and the door remained closed until firefighters were able to pry it open. He is charged with kidnapping, negligent homicide, violation of parole, 2 counts of aggravated assault, possession of a dangerous weapon, and 2 counts of criminal mischief. He is held at the Salt Lake County Jail without bond. Alexander has an extensive criminal history, and he was released on bond a day before the killings. He violated probation on the 16th of February and got out of jail the next day after paying a $5,000 bond. The violation stems from an original charge in December of 2018, when Alexander was found guilty of beating his former girlfriend with a golf club and threatening her with a knife. He spent 220 days in jail before pleading guilty in exchange for a 36-month probation sentence. He's violated probation multiple times with drug and weapon offences, and he spent time in a rehabilitation centre. In August, his probation officer recommended the courts revoke his probation and order his original prison sentence of 5 years. His recommendation was not followed. In a tribute to Morgan, her family said she's always been known for a sweet, shy and kind temperament, being a deep thinker with amazing artistic abilities and always having an infectious giggle. She worked as a model, makeup artist and medical assistant, and had just started a job in Draper. A 28-year-old woman allegedly cut off her 28-year-old boyfriend's penis after he threatened to leak their sex tapes because she refused to sleep with him. The names of the victim and the suspect have not been released. The man was rushed to a hospital after the attack at a hotel in Sibolga, North Sumatra, Indonesia. He is now in intensive care. Police allege that on Saturday the 25th of February, the woman severed his penis after he came on to her, and she was not in the mood. The couple had been in a relationship for about 7 months. They made an appointment to meet at a hotel, and the man asked to have sex, after which the woman refused. When he was denied sex, the man threatened to spread the videos of their intimate activities. Then while he was ready to take a shower, the suspect carried out the attack. She took a knife that belonged to the man and cut off his penis. A receptionist at the hotel said the woman approached him and asked for medical assistance after her boyfriend was bleeding profusely at the scene. The woman's been arrested and is held at the Sibolga police station, but has not been charged. Police said they're waiting to interview the boyfriend.